Like most girls, I have a nails inspiration board on Pinterest. So what I usually do is scroll through, look for a bunch of different ideas I'm liking, take screenshots of that, and then I put it in my Procreate. Then I decide what nails I'm going to do, what designs I'm going to manipulate and change. Now, the next time I do my nails, I'm actually going to follow or try to follow the nail designs to a T because my nails came out looking very differently. I liked it, but came out very different. The next set I'm doing is going to be very fun, so look out for that. The day before I did my nails, I took off my old set which I had gotten done in Lagos. Now, don't do what I'm doing in these clips. Don't take off your nails the way I'm taking off my nails. I can't emphasize it enough. Don't do what I'm doing. You're going to damage your nails. You should use acetone to take off your nails or go to the nail salon and they'll help you get it off. I start off my nail process by cutting my nails. You don't actually have to. If you'd like to keep your natural, then you can do that. But I just feel more comfortable when my nails are short because it helps the tips to go on nicely. If you know me, you know that I love a good almond / stiletto tip. So that's what we're going to be using today. My nail tips are from NKK and this is the shortest that they have. I like to make sure that my nail tips fit from sidewall to sidewall. So I check very carefully and make sure that it's covering the entire of my original nails. I hope that makes sense. And then I do that for all my nails and then I get all the 10 for all the different fingers. And then you have to make sure that you are filing really well. You can go in to file with a traditional nail file or you can use an e-file. I use the traditional nail file for the outside to smoothing the areas that are closer to the cuticles, and then I use my e-file inside. Nail glues attach best on rough surfaces, so that's why I go into file inside of the nails and I file my own natural nails as well. So I'm trying to make sure that the glue is sticking well and there's no lifting because you want your nails to last for at least 3 to 4 weeks. The nail prep process takes a while, so you need to make sure that you are very patient. Make sure that you're filing every inch of the nail. Make sure that you're not skipping any steps because if you skip a step, it's going to show. You're going to lose nails in like a day, in a week, in fact. So make sure that you stick through the process. Once your nails are all filed, make sure you go in with alcohol wipes. You can either use alcohol prep wipes or you can use alcohol on a lint-free paper towel. And then you clean each nail and get off all the dust that has come from filing. Once an alcohol prep wipe is dry or is no longer getting off the lint as well as it was originally, change and switch to another one. Don't skim on prep wipes at all because you don't want any lint. And then I'm going in with my nail primer and my nail dehydrator. Actually switch the order, so nail dehydrator and then nail primer. So a dehydrator is pretty much just like rubbing alcohol that I'm going to use on my nails to dehydrate it so that it is fully stripped of all natural oils. So if I skipped any area when I was filing my nails, the dehydrator is going to get that and make sure that it's completely dry. And then once I put that on all of my nails, I will go in with a nail primer. So the nail primer is very important. Say you don't use a nail dehydrator and you have already used an alcohol prep wipe in the previous step, you can just use a primer, but don't skip your primer. Nikki Tutorials used to say that if you don't, not to prime is a crime, but she was talking more in terms of makeup. But yes, make sure that you prime those nails. The primer gives the nails a very tacky feel to it so that the nail glue can easily stick on to your nails. I hope that makes sense. I keep telling you not to skim on materials because when I first started doing my nails, I was using a lot of very cheap, more affordable products and my nails were not lasting as long. So again, another thing you shouldn't skim on is the nail glue that you're using. The nail glue I'm using is from Mololuwa, I think that's how it's pronounced, and it is amazing quality. So you pretty much put some glue on your natural nails first and then you put in glue in the nail tip. Don't cure your nails yet. You put on your natural nails and then you put on the nail tip. and you have to make sure that you just keep gauging it, right? The first time you do it, you may put too much. The second time you do it, you may put too little. But by the time you do it a couple of times, you get a hang of it. So you can see I'm putting a generous amount based on what I'm doing. I hope that helps you when you want to do yours. And then you're going to use a gooseneck lamp to flash cure your nails. And you make sure that you start from the beginning of your cuticle, and then you just press it all the way down till the entire nail is covered, and then you gently put it into the light. This is what it looks like after I have done that, and now I'm going in to do it again. Remember that to attach the nails, you are starting from your cuticle, and then you're going to press it all the way down very gently so that the nail glue covers it all. Once you flash cure, you put all your nails into the UV light so that it is fully cured, and then now it's time to file. So as I was attaching my nails, I actually bent it down at an awkward angle, so that's something that you can fix in filing. You just file in the opposite direction so that it comes out looking straight. So lots of things can be fixed in filing, but also sometimes if I put on the nail too awkward, I have to take it off and start over. But these are just different things that we keep learning as we're doing our nails. So file those nails to your desired shape. If you want it to be more stiletto, you keep filing at the sides. If you want it to be more almond, you file down more towards the tip of the nail so that it becomes more circular. Just do this according to your preference, whatever you like, and make sure that you keep checking what you're filing in between the different. If you don't learn anything else from this entire video, let this be the one thing that you take away. Make sure that you are sealing your cuticles, because what this does is it makes sure that water and foreign materials and stuff are not easily able to seep into your nails, which makes it last longer. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting my nail file on a setting and like motion that feels good so that it doesn't skip too much, and so that I don't get I don't feel heat spikes when I'm doing my nails, but I tend to feel heat spikes when I'm putting it in the UV light and when I am using a file because of how fast and quick the speed is. But as you can see, I am going into my cuticles very carefully and making sure that I'm blending it to the best of my ability. Now every time, it takes me a while to blend my nails, but I always know that I can even stay and do it for a longer time. It goes to show you that you really need to make sure that you're sealing the cuticles well. So you just go into the ends, not the ends, you go into the cuticles area and the edges of your nails, and you're just going all around, different motions. You're just trying to get it as seamless as possible. Remember at the beginning I told you that gel goes on best to rough surfaces, so this also applies to buffing the top of your nails and making sure that I'm buffing everywhere. So as I'm doing this, I'm actually smoothing all the places that I had filed and also buffing it so that the gel application will be more seamless. Once this is done, you need to go in again with an alcohol prep wipe to remove all the lint, remove all the dust that has come off from the buffing process. Obviously, make sure that you're taking your time, make sure that you're not skipping this step, because if you do, it's going to show in the nail retention. One of the final things that we're going to do to conclude the nail prep is melting our nails with acetone. Now, we're not melting the entire thing off because commonly acetone is used as a nail remover. If you're taking off nail polish or something, or for example, if you're taking off these nail tips, it'll be acetone that you're using. So you're just going to use a little, use the kind of brush that you see me using in the video, and then just apply it to the edges of the nails around that cuticle area so that it melts the nail tips that we have already filed and made to be so thin so that it blends it in very nicely to your original nail. This helps the growing out process so it still looks seamless. You don't want it to be too chunky. See how beautiful that came out looking? I absolutely love it. And finally, this concludes the nail prep process. We're going into designing the nails now. I love using a base color that is very nude and very close to my own natural nails, and sometimes I'm even tempted to just leave it like that. This is the brand I use, and this is the specific color I use in this nail. Everything that they have in that collection is absolutely amazing, so you might want to check it out. Now I have gone in with 2 layers because the first layer will be more translucent, but by the time I do a second layer, it's the exact color and the exact way I want it to look. Once that is done, I go in and use an alcohol prep wipe to remove the tacky layer that doesn't cure. And again, throughout all of this, I'm curing my nails for 60 seconds, just in case I forget to say later on. Part of why this took me such a long time to do was because the original set I started doing, I actually filed the design of. So as you would see here, I'm using a little bit of another color in that same collection I was telling you about, and I was trying to do a little ombre, but I didn't end up liking how it looked, so I actually cleaned it off. Most of the time when I'm doing an ombre design, I actually use eyeshadow, so I don't know why I did this today. I was trying to do something different and it was not the time to be doing anything different. I actually need to invest in an airbrush machine for my nails, because I know that would make life so much easier, but at the same time I'm also like, I'm able to achieve all the ombre effects I want with eyeshadow, so that's where I'm kind of torn between. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get an airbrush machine. Maybe I won't, but maybe I will. Whenever people find out that I do my nails myself, one of the questions that they ask me first is, oh, how do you do French tips, or how do you paint your dominant nails? And I'll be answering that. It helps a lot, and it makes it so much easier if you're using a liner brush, because it is so thin and it helps you to do the details. But I start off with doing a curve at the beginning of the French tip, and then I will make a line at the edges of the nail and pretty much just fill it in. And I know that as I'm doing it, it looks easy, it looks kind of seamless, but that's because I've been doing it for a while. So when you are trying it out, don't be annoyed if it looks kind of wonky at first, but also if it doesn't look wonky at first, amazing, props to you, because you're actually a G. But that's what I do. And at this point I had already known the design I was going to do, like in switching it up, so I just went on to do that. I painted the middle finger with the transparent reddish color that I was trying to use originally for an ombre, and I did 2 coats of that. Doing French tips can be a bit tricky, so I'm showing you how I did it. Taking a C curve around my natural cuticle line, or a bit above, it really depends, liner brush to fill in the rest of the space. Depending on the kind of nail polish I use, I may have to use 2 coats, or 1 coat might just be. I redid the thumb design with the same polish that I had used for the middle finger. I really liked the color, I liked how it looked quite translucent and it matched the French tips color. I put that into the UV light to cure, and I wanted to show you guys how I do my non-dominant hand. So it's honestly the same process, really. I just have to be slower with it, and I have to keep checking to make sure everything is fine. So I'm still using the curve method towards the area of my cuticles, and then I'm filling in the sides. I went in with the matte top coat so that I could put it all over my nails, because the next design I'm doing is a chrome, and I don't want the chrome to stick to a glossy top coat. After I use the matte top coat, I'm still going to buff my nail just for extra protection, to make sure that none of the chrome pieces stick onto my natural nails, because that can get annoying whenever that happens. Once my matte top coat is on and my nails have been buffed, I went in with another liner brush because of the kind of designs I'm trying to do, and I did that on all the areas where I had French tips, because that's the vibe I was going for. So after the liner brush, I put that into the UV light for it to fully cure, and I went in to do my 3D gel designs. I'm so sorry that the clips for this are not really giving what I wanted to give, or maybe next time I'll be able to show you more in depth for how I was able to do those designs. And again, I'm doing chrome, and black is one of the best bases for chrome, so I'm using that on top of the area where I have used my thicker gel, my rhinestone gel, to have like a more 3D effect. You want to make sure that the black gel gets everywhere so that the design is fully covered. If you have any mistakes or anything, make sure you clean it up with another brush that has acetone, just to clean it up as nicely as you possibly can. And then the fun part is putting the chrome on, within gold. I absolutely love gold. Just put that everywhere, dust it onto the nails, and sometimes if the like little buff thing you're using runs out, make sure you put in some more so that you can get as much chrome on your nails so that you can, shine and be how you want it to be. Cover everywhere. Don't allow any of the black polish to show through, and then you use a brush to dust off all the excess chrome. Once this is done, you're going to go in with your glossy top coat. I lost my footage from that, so use your glossy top coat, cure that for 60 seconds, and then you use an alcohol prep wipe to wipe off the tacky area or the areas that didn't cure within the 60 seconds. Yeah, this is how my nails ended up looking. I'm so excited. I love them. They are very, very different from the original design, but they look absolutely gorgeous. Like, they're stunning. If you try to recreate these designs, I would love to know if the tutorial helped you. Hello, I finally finished doing my nails. I started like 10 something and it's 3 now. To be fair, I've done a number of things in between, and I took a shower, so I'm clean now. We thank God. But usually after I finish doing my nails, I'm hungry and I'm craving a yogurt bowl. I've been making the best yogurt bowls ever since I went to Craft Cafe in like if it's one. I have been eating my yogurts like that. Like, their parfait was immaculate. Like, it was so good. I'm going to show you how I make that, and yeah, I'll do a close-up of my nails. But I haven't really had a face-to-face talking time with you throughout this video, and I just thought I would do that. Also, I don't know if you've watched Forever, but Lovey Simone, who plays Keisha, yeah, she plays Keisha in Forever. We literally have the same beauty supply scarf. Like, what? Because I know I was watching it, I was like, this thing looks very familiar, and then it clicked. It's the same scarf. That's why it looks familiar, because I had it. Anyway, I'm hungry. Let me go eat, and I'll teach you the best way to make yogurt bowls. Or maybe you're making your yogurt bowl like this since, and what I'm telling you is not really new news, but now you have it. Anyway. Also, as I was watching the clips back, I realized that I have clips missing from when I was doing my nails, and that's because my phone died and I did not realize it died. Apologies for those missing clips, but I hope that you get the general gist of the nail situation clips of the day. I'm adding a mango as well later on. Grapes kind of match the color of my nails, which is cute. Also, I learned the hard way. Don't cut pineapples into your yogurt, because I was doing that and I was wondering why, like, the area that had the pineapples were like bitter, and then I looked it up and apparently they're like enzymes in the pineapple and enzymes in like dairy products, that when they like interact, the product is bitter. It tastes good, but after a while, if it's not like one of the first things that you eat, it can start to be bitter and it's kind of annoying. This smells so good. Let me taste one. Oh my gosh, this tastes so good. The last few strawberries I've used have actually not tasted like the sweetest, but they've been fine in the yogurt. But these are actually so yummy. I love that for me. Sometimes I would do two of the yogurt cups, but I only did one because right now it's already 4. And I just want to give myself a chance to eat dinner. I haven't really had dinner in the past couple of days. we'll see. Because these bowls are usually very filling. Yum, 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 yum. So this is all I'm using from the mango. That was bitter. And then I'm going to bring over my nuts and to do this much. And then trust me, there's a reason behind the madness. I want to close. This one's close. And I'm just going to need to come out. Empty frame. And we just sprinkle you around. One more thing, this in the house, I have no idea where my auntie got it from, but we have this as well. And this has sesame seeds, pistachio, cranberries, hazelnuts, date bites, and more. So we're gonna put that in there as well because it's pretty good. Okay, drizzle that on. You can go heavy with your honey if you want, but I don't really think you should. My bowl, my breakfast slash lunch slash dinner. We'll see if I eat dinner. If I eat dinner, it's going to be really small, but this is it. Doesn't it look so yummy, so divine? Okay, so I lied. That's actually not the end. I want to cut some of this banana in there because I like bananas. And a lot of them in the house are almost going bad. And I don't want that. So it as well just eat it. I don't really know what I'm doing, but like this is literally just for me. I'm about to mix all of this up together. So all this that I'm doing is actually not necessary, but you know, whatever makes you happy. The little things in life. I've been saying that so much recently. It's the little things in life where it really is.